And we're back. Mike Cernovich, DangerPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. MILO and Bill Maher. How'd MILO do? What do you think, Julius? Did you watch MILO? Did you watch MILO and Bill Maher? Mayer? I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name. Bill. We'll just call him Bill. Friend of Bill. Yeah. Saturday morning, hanging out with the dogs. Cyrus taking a nap. What'd you think? Also having a party this Friday. Friday having a party. The Bull Moose party. People are already triggered. People are already triggered because they're going, Teddy Roosevelt was a progressive. Amazing what triggers people. People get mad about the name of a party I have. Can't even throw a party. Can't even throw a party without people getting mad. Mike, how dare you? How dare you have a party about Teddy Roosevelt? It's the kind of nonsense I deal with all day. But you know what my answer to all that is? Julius came up with the idea. So if you have a problem with the party name, you have a party with Julius. Or you have a problem with Julius. Yeah, this Friday we're having it in D.C. Undisclosed location. We'll let you know. There's an application, and it sounds kind of funny to have an application, but one thing that you'll realize is a lot of people who talk about how much they hate me, the minute I have a party or something going on, oh man, they sure want to go, right? The same people who are like, Mike, your brand is dead, you got no brand, nobody cares about you, you're whatever. Fine, you know, I don't care. Fine, people can say what they want to say. The minute I have some kind of event, though, they're the first ones in line trying to get a ticket, trying to get in. Why? Because if they threw their own parties, nobody would show up. Right? So it isn't, and also, you know, we can only have like 250 people there. We can only have like 200 people there. So that'll be easy. Did you already talk about MILO? We're just kind of talking about everything. What did you think about Bill Maher? How did he do? What did you think? I watched the after hour panel thing. I didn't watch the full interview yet. I didn't watch the one-on-one. I watched the part with the intelligence guy, the comedian guy, the white Republican guy, Maher, the panel roundtable. I don't know what it's called. After hours. There you go. I watched the after hours. I didn't watch the rest of it though. The after hours, they were mad, boy. They were mad at MILO. They were definitely mad at MILO. So what did you guys think? Yeah, they were, you know, it was definitely, yeah, they hated him. They were mad at MILO. MILO did call him stupid. You know, it was funny because it's definitely when you have a comedian who's performed at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and you had a guy who was an ex-intelligence officer, they're going to get mad. They're going to get mad if you call them stupid. They were definitely butthurt. They didn't want to address his arguments. They didn't want to address his arguments either. But they weren't going to let MILO charm him. So that was the interesting dynamic of the talk. Is MILO is one of the most charming people you'll ever meet in your life. He's a 10 out. His charm scale is like 11 out of 10, right? You'll probably never in your life meet anybody as charming as MILO. MILO's also brilliant. All right. Last night, MILO used his charm, but he wasn't going to charm those people, right? So he should have shifted to his intelligence. That's the whole thing. MILO's smart. MILO's way smarter than he lets on. MILO he's way up there, right? So he was trying to charm them, but they hated him, right? They hated his guts, and he wasn't going to charm them in any way, shape, or form. So he should have just unloaded facts on them. He should have, you know, machine gun facts at them. Because he's smarter than they are. It was a good appearance, though. MILO did well. I was glad to see him on there. Glad to see him on there. He did it well. He handled the animosity well. He didn't take the bait. He didn't let them suck him in. So he did great. He definitely did great. Yeah, they didn't want to let him get his words in because their arguments they lose. But that, you know, and that's where you got to figure out how to make your points, though, which is tough. I'm not saying I'm not saying Milo didn't do great. Milo did great. I'm just talking about hey Julius, how you doing? I'm just talking about the dynamics of it. The dynamics of it is he's Milo's exceptionally charming, but they hated him. They hated him. And that one guy, who was the comedian who was Leslie Jones is not barely literate. What kind of butthurt little biznitch. Holding a grudge over a Milo tweet. Holding a grudge over a Milo. I didn't even remember that tweet from Milo. I didn't even remember it. Right? Milo's a good friend of mine. We talk often. I didn't even remember that Milo had called Leslie Jones barely literate. I didn't even remember that, right? So this so-called comedian was what a basic biznitch. Still butthurt over one snarky little tweet. Unbelievable. What a baby. What a crybaby. So here's the thing about Leslie Jones, right? The thing with Leslie Jones is, this is kind of funny. So I was watching Joe Rogan podcast where they talked about the Milo ban. And Joe Rogan, it was funny. It was one of those funny moments. So whenever you read about communist Russia or Cambodia, everybody kind of pauses and blinks before they say something that they know isn't true, right? So there's this great moment on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I wish I had saved the clip because it would have been a great study in social dynamics. So they're talking about how Milo is being banned, and Joe Rogan says, hey, it was wrong that Milo was banned. And everybody goes, yeah. And then somebody goes, Leslie Jones is funny. And then Joe goes, oh, yeah, Leslie Jones. Oh, Leslie Jones is so funny. And then the other guy, there were like two other guys, they're like, oh, yeah, Leslie Jones, she's like really funny. Oh, she's so funny. And they're kind of blinking, right? They're blinking. She's not funny. She's not funny. But even Joe Rogan can't say Leslie Jones isn't funny. Because if Joe Rogan says Leslie Jones is a... So I thought, well, hey, Joe Rogan, he's a pretty honest... I used to think at the time he was an honest guy. After his meltdown with Crowder, I think a lot of people's views on Mr. Rogan have changed quite a bit. I think the mask finally slipped off. People kind of know what Joe's really about now with the whole, drunken meltdown. But I go, Joe Rogan says Leslie Jones is funny. I'll go watch her comedy clips. I'll go watch them. And I watched a bunch of Leslie Jones's comedy clips. And you know what she isn't? She isn't funny. Here was one of her skits. Why people go into the mountains and then they get by a mountain. I'm not kidding. This is one of her skits, one of her bits. I'm stealing her jokes right now. White people go to the mountains and they get bit by a mountain lion. But don't the white people know mountain lion? Oh, Leslie Jones, so funny. Oh my God. How do you come up with such insights about the world? It's dumb. Go watch it. You can watch her bits on YouTube. She's not funny. She's not funny at all. Go watch it, right? That was part of her bit. White people go into the trails, into the mountains, because white people like to hike. It was one of those bits on like, why do white people like to do things? Which I enjoy, making fun of white people. But it's not funny. And she isn't funny at all. Amy Schumer, not funny. Amy Schumer used to be funny. 8 years ago, go watch. So, because whenever people like Joe Rogan and them would be like, oh yeah, Amy Schumer's funny. She's funny. I'd say, no, she's not funny, guys. She isn't. But if you go watch her, and then I thought the Amy Schumer was like a conspiracy theory. How did Amy Schumer ever do anything in her life? Must be a conspiracy theory. Go watch Amy Schumer's old stuff. Amy Schumer used to be funny. Amy Schumer's old tweets was funny. One time I was going through her old tweets to try to get her in trouble with the outrage mob. And she made very inappropriate jokes. One of her jokes was about a South African woman runner. And Amy Schumer said, oh, looks like her Adam's apple. Looks like her Adam's apple was first across the finish line. All right, that is offensive, not fit for politically correct America. You shouldn't talk about that in the office. But that's funny. That's observational comedy. So I was like, wow, she was really funny. So Amy Schumer used to be funny. She's not funny anymore. Why? Because you can't be funny and be left-wing. Because there are too many things that you're not allowed to talk about. Sam referred to you as troll on his latest podcast. I don't know who Sam is. Milo is a show-off. Yes, he is. Aren't we all? Sarah Silverman was never funny. She hooked up with Jimmy Kimmel. Imagine being Jimmy Kimmel, right? Jimmy Kimmel. Am I allowed? Is Jimmy Kimmel one of ours, or is he an anti-Trumper? I don't want to, I put a lot of people on blast. I have a lot of friends these days. So, is Jimmy Kimmel anti-Trump? If he's neutral, I'm not going to say anything about him. But if he's anti-Trump, then I will. If he's neutral, though, I'm pretty much, don't really have much allies going on. All right. So, Jimmy Kimmel. Imagine you're Jimmy Kimmel. Imagine you're Jimmy Kimmel. I'm Mike Cernovich. Mike Cernovich, DangerPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. Not a model, decent-looking guy, have some success. But I'm not going to say I'm Jimmy Kimmel level fame. You're Jimmy Kimmel. And the best you can do is Sarah Silverman. What is wrong with your brain? Imagine you're Jimmy Kimmel. All that fame, all that fortune, all that success. You think I deserve Sarah Silverman. That is what you think if you're Jimmy Kimmel. The self-worth of him must be into the poops, into the sewer, right? His self-worth is that he thinks that was what he deserved. He deserved Sarah Silverman. That's sad. That is sad. He thought, if Sarah Silverman hit on me, even if I weren't with Shauna, I would be like, are you kidding me? Sarah, you don't have a shot. You're not even in the stadium, let alone the league. That was who Jimmy Kimmel ran game on to get with. So what does that tell you about a lot of these people? They don't have high self-worth. They have low self-opinion, low self-worth. They believe that is the only person they're deserving enough. No, Sarah Silverman used Kimmel. No, you guys got to remember, Sarah Silverman was nobody. Then she met Kimmel, and then he put her on all the stuff, and then Kimmel made Sarah's brand, and then she started cheating on him and left him. No. I don't know what kind of revisionist history. I'm old enough to remember when this all happened. And at the time, I used to know a little bit of celebrity gossip. Now I don't know. So if you're old enough to remember this, because at the time I was with somebody who would read Us Weekly, Jimmy Kimmel was big. Sarah Silverman was nothing. Jimmy got with her. She used him, slept her way up the ladder. Then she started cheating on him and left him. That's the reality. That's the real truth. So I don't know. Jimmy Kimmel has clearly never read Gorilla Mindset. Because Shauna is way hotter than Sarah Silverman. Shauna's way hotter than most of the women these celebrities are with. That's what cracks me up. That is why self-worth is really so fundamental if you're a man or you're a woman. It's self-worth and it's your standards, right? Self-worth, how do you feel about yourself? What standards you hold yourself to? What standards you hold other people to? A lot of these people, they don't have high feelings of self-worth. And because of that, they don't hold the people around them to higher standards. My self-worth is very high. Because of that, people who sign books available still, I think everybody's got them. I don't want to do another batch of books because I sent them all out, and then a couple people hadn't got them. I had to resend them. So, well, you would lower your standards for Sarah Silverman, maybe. Lena Dunham is gross, yeah. But yeah, I'll do another book signing. Oh, partying, can you believe Bill Maher? Yeah, Bill Maher doesn't, he doesn't believe it. Bill Maher doesn't believe that Russia hacked the election, but that's the only, okay, let me put it to you this way. This is a tale as old as Aesop, right? You have two things that can be true, right? Two things that can be true. If you think that Donald Trump is a clown Van Burger, or whatever these people call him, if you think Donald Trump is a clown, then Donald Trump is the president of the United States. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Here, most people never understand this. This is going to be so deep and so mind-blowing, most people won't even know what direction I'm going with it. If you believe Donald Trump is a clown, a fool, a buffoon, and then Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, what is that? What is that to you? Sorry, I would not buy a used car from you. I see in your picture that you are quite ugly. I will sell you a lap band instead of a used car. So what does that tell you? Right? It is an indictment on your character. Here's how you have to understand what's going on. It is an indictment on your character. Here's what I'm saying. If you look, this is the same reason people hate me so much. Right? People hate me so much. Because they think, how can Mike Cernovich do all these things that they believe they should be able to do, but they're afraid to do? It's called the law of reflection. It's a mirror unto the world. Bill Maher, Sam Harris, all the Trump haters. They're looking at Trump because they view Trump as a clown and a buffoon. And when they look at Trump as president, that makes them look at themselves and they go, oh, wow, well, why haven't I done more with my life? Why am I not more powerful? Why am I not more influential? Why am I just a clown on TV when Trump is the president? It becomes an indirect indictment of the character. So that image of the mirror reflects back on them. It's called the law of reflection, or Cernovich's law of reflection. So what do you do when that kind of reflection hits back on you? It's kind of like if you're a little overweight and you get in front of the mirror. You're a little overweight, you're a little fat, you get in front of the mirror, you start pinching, and you could say, wow, I'm fat, I need to go on a diet. It happens, no big deal, let's get back on the track. Or you can say that mirror is broken. The mirror is broken. The mirror doesn't work. It's a bad mirror, bad lighting, it's just not accurate, right? It's just not accurate. What they have done is, instead of saying, wow, Trump is on another level than I am, I need to up my own game. They got to say, well, Russia hacked the election. Because accepting that it was a true election and a fair election is for them to come in touch with their own inadequacies and their own perceived inadequacies. Because here's what you learn about people. I'm happy with my life. I'm thrilled. I wake up thrilled with my life. I think my life is great, right? But I'm not, objectively speaking, as big as Bill Maher. Bill Maher is way bigger than I am. Right? But I don't think, wow, Bill Maher is above the food chain of me, therefore I need to hate him and concoct a conspiracy theory about him and not like him because he's above me and therefore that reflects weakness of me. No, I'm just like, hey, man, I like my life where it is. Right? I think life is great. If I were Bill Maher, I would think life was great. If I were a level below me, I would think life was great. But these people, they don't have a right mindset. Their mindset isn't one of being gratitude and grateful for what they have. Their mindset is about focusing on what other people have and being malcontent based on other people having things they don't have. That's the reality. So they'll never be happy. It's called chasing the dragon. Bill Maher is not happy. Most people would say, well, how could he be not happy? He's worth tens of millions of dollars, maybe $100 million. Who knows, right? Guy's worth filthy rich. Never have to work again. His grandchildren, Bill Maher's grandchildren, will never have to work again. He has hereditary wealth. Instead of saying, wow, amazing, he's not happy about his life. And a lot of people in Hollywood are like that. A lot of famous people are like that. A lot of comedians are like that. They can't just say, wow, I am great. This is, what a life, what a ride. I'm so grateful for what I have. They're always focusing on what they don't have, what other people have, and that's why they're miserable. And that's a sure way to never be happy. And a lot of it is, of course, spiritual emptiness. They don't have a core. I'm an authentic guy, thank you. It's the same is true of Sam Harris, right? Sam Harris is utterly terrified of me. Why? Because if Sam Harris and I were in a room together, it would be a slaughter. So Sam Harris will shade me on his podcast. Oh, Cernovich is a troll. Or, he'll pop off from the safety of his little podcast. But I've challenged him to debate before. I knew he wouldn't take it up. Now, he won't debate me. People for days bombard his notifications during the election. For days, people go, hey, you're anti-Trump. Why don't you debate Donald Trump with Mike Cernovich? Open field. And I said, I'll do it. I'll do it. Sam wants nothing to do with that. So they all read me. Here's what cracks me up. This is what cracks me up. They all read me. Because they all read my stuff and they repeat my talking points and I'll hear things that I've talked about that they're talking about. They all read me. They're like, oh, you're a troll. He's a troll. He's a troll. He's a whatever. Well, then why do they read me? Why are they obsessed with me? Why do they monitor everything I do? They know that in a one-on-one debate, I'll slaughter them. But I wouldn't debate any old subject because I don't debate things. I only debate things that are true. Right? Hillary Clinton was an abomination before. Sam Harris is definitely not a genius. Hillary Clinton was an abomination. Abomination, okay? Trump was the only alternative to Hillary. We can argue that back and forth, though, right? That's true. But I would not argue that women shouldn't have the right to vote, right? That's the way. Like, I don't argue things that aren't true. I wouldn't say I don't think women should have the right to vote. Even though there's an argument to be made for that. There are arguments on both sides of that. And that's fine. People can argue that, but oh yeah, Eric Weinstein Eric Weinstein is smarter than I am too. I would, but again, I'm judicious with what I would argue about. I would argue about the fake news media being a terrorist organization. Basically anything I say regularly, I would argue about. And things that I don't say regularly, like artificial intelligence, good or bad. I can make arguments for both sides, but I wouldn't, like Elon Musk is anti-AI. And I'm kind of middle anti-AI. So I wouldn't argue something like that with Sam Harris. I'd lose. But anything about politics or the media, I'll win. When am I going on Bill Maher? Well, considering that I told him his face looked like the candle wax melting over a pedophile goblin, I would say that the odds of me being on Bill Maher are 0. Which is fine. Never wanted to be on a show anyway. It's the whole thing. What I always tell people, you will never find me trying to get myself on somebody else's show. I've never emailed these people saying, can I be on your show? Can I be on your podcast? Can I be a guest? I've never done that. As I spoke nervously, actually I got a brand new I'm going to get a new car actually too. I got a brand new chair. Oh, it's a great chair. So you're right, I am swiveling. Why am I swiveling? Because I finally got my Herman Miller Aeron chair. It's beautiful. Yeah, I got my Herman Miller Aeron chair. And it's everything that I'd hoped it would be. It is everything that I ever hoped it would be. Remember the time Dave Rubin asked Joe Rogan? Yeah, what happened when Dave Rubin goes, hey, you should have Mike on your podcast? What happened when Dave Rubin was on the Joe Rogan podcast? And Dave Rubin goes, hey, Mike Cernovich? And Joe's like, oh, yeah, I know who he is. And Dave goes, oh, yeah, you should have Mike on your podcast. What did Joe do? Joe goes. So anyway, right? It was pretty funny. That's why, again, I have no beef with Joe. But I'm not going to pretend that I haven't been blacklisted from Joe's podcast. That's the whole thing that bothers people, triggers people, right? I like some of Joe Rogan's podcasts when he has people not talking politics. But the reality is I've been blacklisted from his podcast, which is fine. I never asked to be on it anyway. That's the whole point. I never tried to get on a show anyway. But the point is multiple people have been like, Joe, Mike, for over a year, people have been like, Joe, like Mike was one of the few people called it for Trump. You have these political hacks on your show to talk about Hillary. You have these hacks talk about, what about the guy who actually predicted Trump was going to win way back when everybody thought that was crazy, I'm a legitimate political expert and a media expert. But it's okay, guys. Because I've never asked to be on anything anyway. Right? It's not really what I do. It's not really my way. I'm happy I got the chair too. But I will be on Alex Jones' show this Tuesday. So this Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. No, Eastern time. Anyway, I will be meeting Alex Jones on Tuesday. So me and Alex Jones will have a meeting of the minds this Tuesday. Forget what time. I think 2 p.m. Eastern time. So what is that? 11 a.m. my time? I don't know. I'll announce the exact time. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be weird because Alex and I are both kind of bulls, but it's his show. I'm good at being respectful. I'm not going to Texas, though, no. I'm doing it over Skype. Do I drink Black Rifle's coffee? No, lately I've been drinking this mushroom coffee stuff. It's a very mellow, there's not much caffeine in it. I don't know what it's for, I forget, but it's mushroom coffee I've been drinking. Yeah, so Tuesday, Jones and I are going to be talking. That'll be a good conversation. That'll definitely be a powerful meeting of the minds. Talking in our own echo chamber does nothing for the cause. Buddy, my echo chamber has gotten reverberated throughout the world. Because even people who don't like me read me. That's the whole thing. Anybody who thinks I'm in an echo chamber doesn't really know anything about me. Because these people hate me. Right? They bash me on their podcast. They shade me. They blacklist me. I'm way out of the echo chamber. I'm echoing in their heads, right? I'm echoing in the heads of the left. That's 100% sure. So yeah, we're not in echo chamber. You and Paul Joseph Watson should do a show. No, really. I mean, we've done conversations together. PJW is doing great work. PJW is doing great work. It's different work for me. And I'm more of a rabble-rouser and more of a general. It's different, right? Paul Joseph Watson is like a TV star. He's a TV anchor. PJW, MILO, these guys are celebrities, right? Yeah, they're great people. I'm not shading them. That's the thing. A lot of people are binary thinkers. They can't understand that there are way different roles for different people have. Paul Joseph Watson has a cool, edgy MTV Vice-style show back before all that stuff was terrible. Paul's a little edgy. Yeah, I'm not saying that. But I'm more of I like to talk to the people, take activism. I'm more of an activist and organizer. Or ringleader. That's what Milo and I had talked about this. So I'm not shading Milo. Because this is literally what Milo and I have talked about. Which is I'm more of a ringleader. And that's what I like to do. I like to be in the trenches every day with a, informal background, drinking coffee, getting people wound up, talking to people, finding out what's going on, throwing parties, things like that. I like to do ringleader kind of stuff. It's a different reality. So Paul Joseph Watson is doing great. Has big YouTube, big Twitter, big everything. Does everyone think Milo's good? Yeah, I thought Milo was great. Milo did great on Maher. The only pivot for next time is to realize that people hate him a lot more than he realizes. That fat guy, the fat comedian, fat so-called comedian, hated Milo. So that's just something you fill in for the next time, which is that the charm won't work because they hated him. They hated him. So hate him back. Milo is a very nice person. That's another secret of Milo. Milo is a nice person. When people like that, what is that guy's name, the fat guy? Who is the fat so-called comedian? What was that guy's name? Can't remember. Wilmer? Whitmore? Larry? Okay, Larry. Larry the fat so-called comedian. So Larry the fat so-called comedian hated Milo. Because of that Milo's beef with Leslie Jones. He hated him. So Milo isn't going to be able to charm him, so Milo's got to just hate him back and go back. But Milo is not a hateful person. Milo doesn't have a hateful bone in his body. Milo does not have a hateful bone in his body. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Very kind, very gentle soul. But when somebody hates you, that's why Milo's so charming. That's Milo's way. See, there's power and charm. What you have to understand is there's power and charm, and your power has to be aligned with who you are and your character, okay? The reason Milo is so charming is because he is a kind, gentle, wonderful human being, right? So if you're a kind, gentle, wonderful human being, your power isn't going to come from conflict. Your power is going to come from charm. That's how you disarm, right? Have you not heard? Think about the metaphors, right? He was disarming. His charm was disarming, right? That's Milo's way of having power. When people hate you, though, and the charm won't work, then you still have to be able to throw the bludgeon at them, right? You still have to be able to hit them over the head with the bat, metaphorically speaking. So me, I'm a nice guy, but I also like conflict. That would be the way I would put it is, I like conflict and I don't mind getting hit. I actually kind of like it. So I like it. So my power isn't going to come from charm. My power is going to come from, I would just unrelentlessly attack you. People even say it's weird. When they saw me on TV, because I'm on TV, I'm like this. And then I sit, and I go, boom, 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 right? And then I just sit, right? So when they watched me on Red Eye, they were like, man, you're not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be more chill, you know, laughy, laughy and everything. But me, I wait. What's up, Pasovic? I wait, and then I hit with my talking point. And I hit, and that's what I like. And then if people hit me back, I don't care. Because I don't really care. It's just a different vibe. One isn't better than the other. You just have to find your right move for your type. So if I tried to be charming, it wouldn't work, right? It wouldn't work. Like a hitman. That's kind of like the way to put it. Kind of like a hitman. And I'm going to keep coming after you unrelentingly, which is point after point after point after point. It's a different vibe. Milo is a gentle person, so he's going to charm you. But ultimately, we all want to be loved, right? That's the human condition. We all want to be loved. Milo wants to be loved. I want to be loved. Everybody watching this wants to be loved. The world is about love. Ultimately, that's what the world is about. Love. God is ultimately about love. That's why when people, I kind of had a weird epiphany the other day. I don't advocate drug use, but if you ever talk to anybody who smoked DMT, had ayahuasca, and these kind of analogs, they go, I felt an amazing sense of human connection and overwhelming love. Right? That's what they talk about. Myself included. When I did 5-MeO DMT, it was so weird afterwards because I remember being in a room. It was one of the most profound feelings I've ever had in my life, and I didn't like it because it made me vulnerable, and I'm afraid of being vulnerable. So we all have fears too. We all have fears. We all have insecurity. I'm going to go a little esoteric right now, so if you want to talk about politics, you should probably, I'm going to talk about, psychedelics and things. So if you don't want to talk about that kind of stuff, you can go ahead and leave. But I remember after you do 5-MeO DMT, which is an ego death, right? Afterwards, you come back, and then I looked around, and I was in a room with, 8 people, and all I thought was, I just want everybody in this room to be okay. That was when I started to come to. I go, I just want everybody in this room to be okay. Are these people okay? Do they have enough money? Is everybody all right? Is their life good? That is all I could think about. Right? Because that's the natural God experience. And that sounds great and beautiful and namaste, but what's the real world? The real world is if you want to love everybody, you're going to get fudged up. The real world is Canada. The real world is Germany. The real world is you're saying, let's let in all the refugees. Let's let in all the refugees. We're going to let them all in because we want you to be okay. And then suddenly they're raping your child. And you're thinking, well, wait, what happened? Well, wait. No, but I love you. We want you to be okay. We want you to be well. We want to take care of you. Right? That's Sweden. That's Canada. That's Minneapolis, Minnesota now. Parts of California. That's the real world of love. The real world of love is they'll rape your children with no gratitude at all. So I understand love at a deep level. People don't see that side of me because we got too much naivety, right? We got too much naivety going on right now, right? But my heart is full of love and compassion for people, but I'm not an idiot. I'm able to look at the world and realize that there are people with hatred in their heart. And whether that hatred comes from their culture, their religion, I don't really know. But I know that they want to murder us. They're raping children. In Germany now, girls can't go to the swimming pool. Are you reading about this? In Germany, the media is covering it up. In Germany, girls can't go to the swimming pool because the refugees who were welcomed in with love, 3, 4, 5 of them, they'll grab the girls, throw them in the bathroom, rape them. And because the refugees don't have identity papers, they don't go to jail because they're minors, and they don't get deported because they have nowhere to go. This is all true. The fake media is covering it up. So when they commit rape, they go, oh, I was really only 14. Meanwhile, they have full beards and everything. They don't look like kids, right? Oh, I'm only 14. Minor. Just rehabilitate me. I can be rehabilitated. That's where love gets you. If you build a society around love, a society around love is a society doomed to fail. A society has to be built around strength, fidelity, integrity, militancy, the warrior ethos. That's the only way society can work. Otherwise, your children will be raped by a different force. That's just the reality. So you have to know both. You have to know both. You have to have both angles and have both sides. This is fear-mongering. It isn't. You can't go to... So the person who said this is fear-mongering, here's my challenge to you, sir. Here's my challenge to you. You're saying that I'm fear-mongering you. I'm going to make you a great offer. What is your name? Type in your name, first and last name. You called me, you say I'm fear-mongering about Sweden. I will fly you over to Malmo, Sweden, to do work for me as Cernovich Media. You will go to Malmo, Sweden, with the GoPro camera, and you're going to take pictures of Malmo. And you're going to spend the night in Malmo, Sweden, and you're going to go up and talk to people, and you're going to take pictures of the landscape, and you're going to interview people, okay? And I will pay for this trip. Because I'm fear-mongering. I'm fear-mongering. You right, you caught me. So you're going to go to Malmo, and you're going to bring a camera and start taking pictures. Right? Start taking pictures. Ask people to interview you. You're going to stay the night there. Ask them about the fire bombings going on. All right? Because I'm fear-mongering. Since I'm fear-mongering, you will clearly take this offer. You will clearly take this once in a lifetime. Go ahead and email me. Go ahead and email me, and we can work the details out. I'll send you there. Right? Because I'm lying. Just like nobody wants to go to the refugee camps, right? I'm lying. MILO couldn't go. You go to Malmo, you're going to get killed. Malmo is in Sweden. Okay? So those of you who don't know, the guy who called me fear-mongering probably doesn't really understand geography. Malmo is a Swedish city, which means it's in Sweden. If you go to Malmo and you try to take pictures, they will smash your face in. All right? They will smash your face in. You'll get killed. So that's the whole thing. No-go zones don't exist. See Sebastian 1. No-go zones don't exist. Okay. They don't? You go to Malmo then. Go to Malmo. Go to Malmo and go ahead and just send me your receipt, your travel receipt. I'm not going to fly you first class, but go to Malmo, head on over there, spend a couple days, and then you can, educate yourself. Because I sent a guy to Malmo. I sent an ex-military intelligence officer to Malmo. He almost got killed. A military vet. Right? It was sarcasm. Okay. Well, be careful with the sarcasm on my periscopes because I get a lot of trolls. So I'm just quick with the block button. I'm quick with the block button. We don't really do sarcasm here. Right? Because I do block people. I sent a vet, military intelligence officer, to Malmo. He was almost killed. Right? Because they will kill media in Malmo. They'll kill the media. This is all true. You can ask him. Ask Jack Posobiec. Right? My documentary, which Jack is directing, Cernovich Media's, we have a documentary coming out. Our documentary, Invasion, How Sweden Became the Rape Capital of the West, that's going to be released in March. So right now, that is in post-production. Jack Posobiec is directing that. He's working on that. So Cernovich Media sent him. So that's coming out. My Patreon. I forgot I should promote my Patreon more. I have a Patreon, and we fund kind of stuff like this. Fun little projects. Well, not fun. Dangerous, too, but very fun. So that's the reality. There are no-go zones in Europe. There are places you can't go in Europe, and you will die. So Sam Harris calls me a troll. I'm going to get Sam Harris right now. I'm going to say, Sam Harris, please go to Malmo, Sweden. Here, we'll talk to Sam. I'll be nice. I'm going to go, Sam Harris called me a troll, but he won't go to Malmo. Sam Harris called me a troll, but he won't go give a talk in Malmo. It was open borders, supported by Hillary, that destroyed Sweden. That's why they get mad at me. That's the reason they get mad at. So here's my tweet. Sam Harris called me a, quote, troll, but he won't go give a talk in Malmo. It is open borders, supported by Hillary, destroying Europe, right? That was the reason none of them, that is the reason none of them would debate me. Because they all go Cernovich. So Sam Harris is like, Islam, radical Islam is dangerous. Radical Islam is going to get us killed, right? Well, how did we get radical Islam in Europe? How did we get radical Islam in Sweden and in Germany? How will we get radical Islam in America? Think, MFers. That's why I don't respect these people as thinkers. What happened to Europe? Oh, so if you open up your borders and you take in refugees, then suddenly you will get murdered in parts of Europe if you criticize Islam. Well, Hillary Clinton said she admired Angela Merkel more than any other world leader. Hillary Clinton was propped up by George Soros, whose open society, George Soros tells you what he's about. Mark Zuckerberg tells you what he's about. The open society is about open borders. So all these people, oh, Trump is a danger, Trump is dangerous. You know what's dangerous? Do you know what is dangerous? Not Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton was dangerous. What's dangerous is allowing in all these so-called refugees. That's what's dangerous. Trump isn't dangerous. Danger is allowing in a culture that wants to destroy you. That's what's dangerous. And they knew I was right. That's the thing about Sam Harris and all these other Trump haters. They're smart enough to know that my logic is airtight, and they don't want to defend that point. But nobody's hitting them with that point, right? Nobody would hit them with that point. So they knew that, oh man, if I debate with Mike Cernovich, right away he's going to expose me as a poor thinker. So because of that, they all fear me. They're terrified of me. They should be. They should be. Because I think things through. They definitely should. But the flip side of that is, unlike them, I don't pop off about things I don't know about. You don't hear me ever talking really about, I don't know, what's the big issue of the day? Climate change. I don't understand climate change. I don't think anybody else can either. But you don't see me having hot, heated debates with people about climate change. Right? Why? Because I don't know that much about it. So unless I really spent a year devoting my life to climate change, then I'm not going to debate it. Why would I debate it, right? I have my intuition. My intuition is that, like everything else, like the hole in the ozone layer, the rainforest being cut down, like everything else I've been told of, like, well, my whole life I've been lied to. My entire life, every scientific consensus has been a lie. So my intuition is that it's probably a hoax, but I'm not going to debate about it. I'm not going to have a heated argument about it. I'm not going to call anybody who believes in climate change a troll. Why? Because I don't really know. I don't really know. I'm comfortable with being agnostic. A great skill that you can adopt, a great mindset, rather. And mindset is a skill. Being comfortable with not knowing. Being comfortable with uncertainty. I'm uncertain about all kinds of positions. I'm not, hold on, Sarah might be, you guys might get to see Sarah. I am comfortable with being uncertain about certain subjects. Hold on, I'm gonna grab Sarah. Be right back. Yeah, great skill to have. Hey, parenting is another great skill. Yeah, Syra woke up. Syra got up from her nap. How are you doing? Yeah, you're doing okay? What if you don't find... okay, there she... Yep, here's Syra. Here she is. Smiley. She's a smiley face in the morning. Are you happy morning? Good morning? Good morning? Yeah, look at that intense gaze. Fierce. Fierce, fierce, fierce. Yeah, she's a good kid. Took a nap. Yeah, she took a nap and... Oh. Virtue signaling from... Yeah, virtue signaling is something else. You know, it's annoying. Oh, Syra is CGI. She's definitely too cute. Yeah, she's my first. What do you think of these people? What do you think of these crazy people? What do you think of these crazy people, huh? She's fierce. She's definitely not mad, but she's a fierce baby. She's curious. She likes to look around. She wants to see things. She's like her dad. This is why we fight. Yeah, she's got the big old cheeks. She is like 9 weeks. She's in the future watching this, maybe. Oh, are you spitting up? Are you okay? You feel good? You feel okay? Huh? You okay? Yeah, she's great. Definitely added a lot of calmness to my life. Yeah, she's breastfed. Hey. Breastfeeding for sure. For 2 years. Hey, yeah? Yeah, she'll be 2 years ago breastfeeding. Yeah, she's growing big. I used to just be able to hold her like this, and now she's... Get onto MILO, and you're blocked. Oh, no, that's a friend of mine. What you talked about this, George? What are you talking about? We talked about... We're 45 minutes in, dude. We're 45 minutes in. You got to go, you got to hit the replay. Bill Maher will never have children. That's a shame. That's definitely a shame. He should definitely have children. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I waited. Am I watching Trump's rally today? Probably. I'll probably watch Twitter for the highlights, though. Top 3 things, baby. Talk to them. I talk to Syra every day. She's my first. So, my top 3 parenting tips. 1, eye contact. Very important. Very important to make eye contact. Strong eye contact. Regularly. 2, talk to them. Talk to them like they're human beings. Here's what I say every day. Every day I say, how you doing, Syra? How's your life been today? What's your aspirations? Where do you see yourself going? Have you thought about that? Well, you definitely need to think about where you're going to go in life. You're going to do good things, though. I definitely know that you're going to do, right? You got to talk to them all the time. And no baby talk aloud around Syra. Everybody in the family knows you can't go goo, goo, goo. You can't talk like that. We talk to her exactly. That's another reason we do all these periscopes. It's conversation. Hours a day. She has hours a day of conversation. Right? Hours a day of conversation. Isn't that right? Do you enjoy the conversation? Do you find the conversations interesting? Third parenting tip. With some exceptions, this is the third parenting tip, though. With some exceptions, babies don't cry for no reason. So Syra, at least, maybe I'm just lucky in this regard. Whenever she's crying, there is a way to get her to stop crying. Sometimes you have to hold her in the weirdest positions. You have to flip her like upside down while you're holding kind of on her neck in this weird kind of thing, right? Doesn't matter. Or you have to rock her a certain way, or she wants to sit out, or she wants to look out at the world. There's always something going on. So babies don't cry for nothing. There's a riddle. Well, yeah, teething, like I said, they're teething, they can be in pain, they can have gas. Again, we're not looking for the exception here. That's why it's called a tip. Right? When babies cry, they want to be held, or they want to be fed, or they need to be switched positions, or they want to be walked around. Syra's real big into being walked around. So if I hold her, that doesn't work, then What do? We walk around. Yeah, and then she's like, okay, that's good. People say, read to your daughter. Well, I mean, I read to her every day in my life, man. She's in the office for most of these periscopes. What I usually do is I'll rock Syra. She's got this baby Bjorn rocking chair. I'll rock her, and then I talk to you all while she falls asleep. So she's getting read to for hours a day. And she's already learning how to talk. Yeah, I mean, this girl, that's why we watch the language a little bit more. She knows some things already, huh? She already knows some things already. Isn't that right? Yeah. Yeah, she hears me all the time. It's great. Mike, I thought you lived in Arizona. No. No such thing as a Muslim ban. It's a terror ban, not a Muslim ban. Pacifiers, I'm not anti-pacifiers. Some people are anti, I'm not anti. But I try to calm her without the pacifier first. Arizona's great, though. You trying to talk to me? Yeah, you want to communicate, huh? Yeah. We hear you. I understand you. Yeah, no anti-pacifiers here. Will I give her an iPad? Probably. I mean, when I was a kid, I played Nintendo, watched TV. So I'm not anti-iPad unless I see some kind of reason not to. Mike, I want to work for you, but I live in Canada. Well, I hired 2 interns. If I hire anybody else, then everybody works for me remotely anyway. Hey, what's up? Oh, you're getting hungry probably, huh? Yes, of course he did. What about Trump don't you like? I don't know. I think you're trying to sow division amongst the ranks. Hey. I think Trump doesn't, this is something, I don't think Trump realizes the threat that Paul Ryan and them posed to him. So Trump is definitely not as focused on the sabotage as he should be. And he doesn't realize he is being sabotaged from within. So I wouldn't say that's something I dislike about him, but that's a critique I have. He doesn't realize that the GOP establishment truly does hate him. Mike, do you know of any Muslim groups that talk about the violent parts of Islam? Yes, I do, but they don't get media coverage, right? So I have a friend of mine who, I don't know if we're still friends. The travel ban may end the old friendship. But a friend of mine is a Muslim woman, and do you know what fires her up? Is that the only time the media will recognize Muslims is when they wear the headscarf. So if you're a Muslim woman, remember that big deal that the media made out of the first Muslim woman who was a fencer? Well, there had been other Muslim athletes, but they didn't wear the hijab, right? So the media has an image of Muslim, right? And that infuriates a lot of Muslims, where they're like, wait, I don't exist as a Muslim woman because I don't wear the scarf, right? It doesn't even matter. So that gets a lot. So there's a lot of people in Islam. There's a lot of Muslims criticizing Islam, but you're never going to see them on the media because the media wants to control. The media wants to start a civil war and a race war and a religious war. So that's why you're never going to see it. Hey, how are you? Yeah, Muslims are like any other group, fight amongst themselves. Did you see the Alex Jones interview 2 days ago? No, what was it? Hey, how can we take down the MSM? Support me. Support dangerplay.com, Cernovich Media. No, I haven't. Unblocked me. Somebody's trying to get Jack to unblock him. Am I coming to CPAC? Yes. I'm going to be in D.C. Friday, homie. What are you talking about? Friday, we'll be having the big after party. Hey, you like the periscopes, don't you? You like the periscopes. I think so. I think so. Sean's getting her hair blown out, by the way. So it's a good dad day. It's pretty cool. Saturday morning, hanging out with the daughter. Dress code for the party. I mean, I'll be wearing, just regular clothes. Just look respectable. Realize that you are a brand. That's what I tell people is, there's no dress code, but you're representing a brand, right? If you're at my party, you're representing my brand. Everybody there is representing Trump's brand. Everybody there is representing America's brand, right? What do you want people to think of when they think of America, when they think of Trump supporters? When they think of Cernovich Media, what do you want to think of? Do you want them to think of slobs, idiots, fools? No, you want to think of them as these are respectable people. Doesn't mean you wear a suit, because we're not suit types either. Some people are. If you want to wear a suit, wear a suit. Hey, but we want, we're respectable people. That's what we are. How you doing? Well, you don't have to wear a dress coat. You don't have to dress up per se, but you know, your clothes should fit properly. Look nice. Look like, you know, you put yourself together. Uh-oh, time to eat. She's home. She's home. All right, time for Cyber to eat. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Cernovich, DangerPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. Ask Sam Harris why. You can find out my Twitter. Ask Sam Harris why he's afraid to criticize Islam and Malmo. Ask Sam Harris if he supports open borders. Ask Sam Harris why, if Islam is such a great threat to the West, his candidate of choice, Hillary Clinton, wanted to increase the population of Muslims by 5,000%. Watch him cry. Well, he'll ignore you.